services to multiple companies. The services tree is one of the company which has sponsored me, and with the support of TST, I have launched SourceTek. So SourceTek is a BPO service company, and at this platform, I'm providing recruitment and HR solutions. So the purpose of our gathering here is to discuss about the AI role in talent outsourcing and how the other companies and the global recruitment channels are perceiving it. We will discuss about the role of BPO as well, and how BPO will help IT companies and recruitment companies in their recruitment, specifically when we are talking about IT recruitment. So these are a few topics which we are going to discuss. In this webinar, I will tell you about the global IT recruitment, the current state of IT recruitment, what is the role of BPO in IT recruitment, and how networking and data management works when we are talking about AI. The last topic will be how AI can transfer the IT recruitment. We will have with us one of our AI specialist person who will guide you and provide, show the demonstration about how AI or specifically ChatGPT will help us in our recruitment process, in our screening process. So let's discuss about the global IT recruitment. According to the latest research which we have, so it's from Gartner 2024, the most projected positions we have with us are supposed to grow by 12% annually over the next 5 years. And they are specifically in the domain of AI, data science, cybersecurity. These positions are specifically driven, like the growth of these positions are based and specifically highlighted from multiple sectors, such as the healthcare, finance, e-commerce, and insurance sector, because these sectors are specifically more towards aligning their processes with AI and latest technologies. As per my research, the latest research, we have found that the upcoming highly paid positions in 2025 and in upcoming 5 years will be AI architect, data scientist, machine learning, and cybersecurity engineers. These are going to be the high paid positions in Pakistan and even at international level. When we are talking about the AI positions, there are also need of cybersecurity aligned with these type of a position. So the requirement such as security analyst, ethical hackers type of a position is also supposed to be in high demand. When we are talking about these high-tech positions, we are here, we are supposed to discuss about the current state of IT recruitment, like what are the challenges, the problems we are facing in IT recruitment sector, and how we can solve these problems to be more proactive, to provide to deal with such type of a position, or to provide relevant resources for that type of a job descriptions and positions. So if we talk about the current state of IT recruitment, those who are in recruitment and HR department, they are very familiar with this process, that we are facing the lengthy hiring process. So the IT companies and those persons who have urgent requirement of resources are not willing to bear this type of a pain, because when we are supposed to hunt resources, sometimes it takes few months, few weeks, few months, which delays the project deadline. So this is one of the main problem in current IT recruitment sector. The another problem we faced many times, and specifically when we are talking about the AI related job, ML related job, the jobs related to cloud computing. So such type of a resources are very rare. The talent shortage is one of the problem in this sector. So when we are supposed to deal with such type of a thing, we realize that currently there is only one resource. As per research, there is only one resource against 10 position of the same title. So this high competition is also very crucial to handle and important thing to manage, because we are trying to cater the candidates, the community through high salaries, maybe high benefits, better benefits, but still we are in that type of a competition. evolving skill requirements is also one of the problem, but it is at the end of candidate. Like when we are talking about AI, ML type positions, so the resources are also supposed to be updated with such type of a high, newly updated high tech stacks, or maybe the skill set in which they are lacking. So definitely AI will help them to identify the areas where they are supposed to work for future opportunities in the market. So when we are dealing with all these challenges, we need to understand, being a recruiter, that we can't rely on the traditional recruitment processes. We need to move towards AI or some more processed uh, structure, so we can align the things in a better way. We can close the positions, we can find the relevant resource at a right time, and we fill the position as soon as possible. So with the help of AI, we can minimize our administrative tasks. So the repetitive tasks such as the screening, interview scheduling, sending feedback, we can reduce these tasks by with the help of AI. When we design different AI chatbots, we can take help from that chatbots. They can assist in administrative tasks. The screening process can also be enhanced when we use AI and AI chatbot, ChatGPT. Like if we give them some prompt algorithm regarding the screening questions, maybe the initial screening, the video interview scheduling, so AI assistant can help us in this regard as well. So not only screening related to IT skill set, but it can be on like the personality assessment, the cultural fitness. We can assess on that grounds as well. AI can also help us in reducing the unconscious biasness. So when there is less involvement of human factor, then definitely biasness is also reduced at that end. AI can also help us to improve our candidate experience for future. Like when we are not going to like hire some resource for multiple position, multiple resources, we are not, being an HR, we are, or being a recruiter, we are not able to provide feedback to all the candidates at a time. We are not able even to engage them uh, frequently, so that we can like align them when we are in need. For that purpose, AI can also assist us. Like it can engage the candidates in a better way, provide them feedbacks, provide them make them like aware about the future opportunities, future trends, future tags they are supposed to train themselves on, that etc. So one of the main thing I feel AI can provide us are the predictive analytics report. When we provide a very organized data, a very like arranged or proper pool of candidate to AI, and AI is going to follow all the process as we guide it. So we are able to produce a relevant analytic reports, which will not only helpful to identify the future trends, but it can also reduce our hiring time by identifying the right fit or right candidate for the position we have in our hand. So as per the latest research, we have found that 40% of the HR executive positions have been adopted by AI, and in future it is also going to be adopted by AI. But it is not like that AI is going to replace the human resources, but those who are using AI in a better way, they are more in competition as compared to those who are not using this. There are a list of few AI tools which are very helpful for recruitment perspective. So those who are most of us are using ChatGPT for that purpose. We will discuss about it, how we can use it for screening purpose. But there are further list of AI tools which we can utilize, like Workday, Textio, and Telio. HireView is very good AI tool for analytic reports and Paradox. So we can use these as a AI assistant for our recruitment purpose. When we are talking about the overall AI and recruitment processes and how we can align the AI, there is a question in the mind of those recruiters who are individually managing everything, or maybe the HR persons who are alone managing the HR department of the company. So for them, there is the opportunity to align with BPOs, because BPOs are the companies, are the like strategic partners with your companies, who can assist you in all these things at very cost effective in a very cost effective way. Like BPOs have access to a global talent pool, so they are able to provide you relevant data, relevant resources, to fill your position in a better way with the help of AI. As per research, 30% cost can be reduced if you people are aligned, if the small scale up startups are aligned with uh, BPOs, so they can save their cost of recruitment as well. BPO can also assist you in multiple factors for scalability, to improve your business if there are long term projects or maybe urgent projects. So they help you to fill that position as your requirement. One of the main element BPOs are expert in, like they are very familiar with the compliance order. So they are familiar like what kind of labor laws, regulations are applied in different regions and how to tackle with them. When we are talking about the cost efficiency, definitely when we are supposed to align the AI or going to purchase such type of AI assistant, it is very costly for like for a small scale companies, and single person HR department cannot afford that type of a technology. So BPO can also provide you assistance in that because they are already working in on that type of a technologies which are AI driven. So this is how we actually BPOs are working through AI integration. So we use AI for our screening process, for screening purpose, automated interview scheduling, skills and personality assessment, candidate engagement through AI chatbot, and predictive analytics report, which I already discussed in our earlier. I have already discussed it. AI powered market insights and candidate matching with ML. So this is how BPO manage their recruitment through AI. So when we are talking about AI, I believe all those who are recruiter are very familiar with this, like with this perspective, that networking and data management is very crucial for that purpose. Like without having a strong database and without having a strong networking, you are not able to fulfill the positions at national or international level. So AI also needs some kind of a some kind of a proper alignment spot to provide productive results. When you have a strong network, the data with you, you are supposed to put it in AI chatbots, provide proper guidance to the AI chatbots, like the prompt we are providing it. So that will helpful us to generate relevant results or achieve the result we are actually looking for. Now I would like to invite Usman Shaheen to give you live demonstration about how to utilize ChatGPT for candidate screening.
Hello everyone, Usman Shaheen here. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, do you see Gemini screen, the browser window? Can you guys see the browser window?
Yes, it is visible.
All right, okay, so today I'm going with Gemini instead of ChatGPT. There are a lot of tools that we can use with as AI assistants with LLMs, and they are pretty much all the same unless we have some specific use case. So in this case, we'll start with some basic prompts, which are in the daily routine of the HR department. So one of the basic tasks that when we are starting the hiring is to create a job description against the requirement we have received from the customer or internally. So for creating a job description, we can write a prompt like this: generate a job description for .NET developer, and a good prompt should be more specific. So we can say mid-level .NET developers with some more details like 3+ years of experience. And we can also add some more details into the prompt, like the candidate should have the grammar is actually not that important. It automatically adjusts it even if you write it incorrect. So the candidate should have worked in web technologies, has experience in, say, Azure, and familiar with, say, Jira, any tools you can mention, any tools or Azure DevOps. Okay. So there's a prompt which basically asking for a job description for a mid-level .NET developer. Okay, so Gemini generated a detailed job description with the roles and responsibilities. In the qualifications, it actually gathers our requirements of 3+ years of experience, and with the web technologies are also there, and it also added other complementary technologies like the experience in the relational database. We didn't mention that, but that's kind of a requirement for 3+ year mid-level .NET developer. And the tool set here is actually specific to the Microsoft ecosystem. MySQL is kind of an exception, but for SQL Server, it is under the Microsoft domain. Then we have Azure Cloud Services, Agile development methodologies, experience with Jira, and Azure DevOps. Okay, so it's a quite detailed job description. So you can expand it further with um, secondary prompts, or we can even brief it to fit into our requirements. So, for example, I can say that uh, make it brief to fit into 10 lines for a LinkedIn post. Okay, so you see it also added the that social media type icons and make the requirements brief uh, up to the 10 lines. Okay. Any questions so far, or you guys want to modify the prompt? I guess no.
Looks okay.
Okay. All right. So another thing that we can use prompting beyond job description is doing some research on the expected salary range. And that even works for the positions that we have not hired previously, because one of the common loop between the management and HR is to uh, decide what should be the salary bracket for that role. So we can have a prompt like, what is the average salary of um, specific? Let me start with some generic one. What is the average monthly salary for say Python developer in Lahore? So because the salary depends on the geography, and uh, yeah, let's see. Okay, so it is giving some range like a mid-level developer. It is still maintaining the context from the previous prompt. So it is basically considering only the job position with 3 to 6 year experience. To avoid this type of biasness or issues, we should start a new chat for a different type of prompt. That's actually true across all different AI assistants. So in the previous version, in the previous chat, we were looking for the job description. For a new prompt, we should initiate a new chat, and here we can have that prompt. It is giving a number and also giving the citations at the end of result, and saying there are multiple factors which depends on the salary. So we can refine our prompt and say um, like
Usman, one thing to confirm,
yeah, yeah.
like how updated is the data that it is extracting the statistics from? Like, do we have an idea? Like, is it how quickly this data gets updated and how relevant these figures are, or is it always updated?
Well, for the Gemini, it is as good as a Google search, so it's pretty update and the
Mhm.
latest. And we can even ask that in our prompt. So we
Okay.
can ask that give me citations and um, okay, so it is giving the results in a tabular format. Like for a Python developer, 2 to 4 years is 180, and for a senior one, which is 750. I think that's what is in the market currently. So the number seems correct. For the data freshness, it is basically getting it from this resource. Okay, and then we can click on the link to see how accurate it is there. Okay,
Okay.
so we can also add some specific skills to this prompt, like we search for the general Python developer and their salary range. So I can ask him to refine it for developers with computer vision experience. Okay, so it couldn't find directly data, so it's giving us a response with the overall salary of the Python developer. So, and another interesting thing we can do here is to export it to the Excel and can do the further analysis there, or we can even compare it to the different technologies. Like we can say compare it with .NET developers salary with the same experience range.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a one question here. Like in the prompt, we have never told the Gemini that the minimum experience should be 2 years. So why it is assuming that we are looking for the minimum experience like 2 years?
We basically at the start of the prompt, we told Gemini that group them based on the year of experience range here. Okay, so on the year of experience range, you can also define your custom range if you want to, but it is picking up the default range,
Mhm.
default grouping. Um, we can actually, if you want to change the range, we can modify it. So here we can say like regroup the results with the following years of experience brackets. Okay, so we can say that less than 3 years or better 1 to 3 years, 4 to 5 years. So they're not all symmetrical, and 5 plus years. Okay, so now it is grouping the data for Python developers and .NET developer based on the groups that we provided in the prompt.
Mhm. Got it. Thank you.
All right. So, any questions?
One more question, Usman. Can we tell in the prompt that go look for a specific website and traverse it and find that information from there, or it is always gonna pick up like on its own from a live feed or? the first link it find? Like we just saw that it mentioned a link. So how do we specify that, or how it decides where to go look?
Yeah, we can specify the websites, but that works for the popular websites. Like if you have your own website and that is not indexed or trained on the AI system, then you won't get the results. But for the popular ones like Glassdoor um, or any other popular one, you would be getting the
Mm.
results. For example, let me try only from, say, Glassdoor.
Can it search LinkedIn?
I don't think so, but I can try. Okay, it's not giving it does not have
Mm.
access to the real-time data from Glassdoor. It cannot return from here. Let me ask. Okay, so it's not giving the data because the LinkedIn, I don't think it is exposing the data publicly. So it's basically the model is trained on the public data and it's Gemini, so the Google search is also integrated, and that also works on the public data.
So, is it possible to find a list of companies who are well equipped with any stack we are looking for?
Yes, that is possible. Let me start a new prompt. What tech stack you are looking for?
AI, AI specialist.
Which, okay, give me a list of Lahore-based company working in AI and slash ML. Yeah, so here is the list. And it also gives the citations from where it got the list. Okay.
All right.
All right. So another area where we can use the AI assistant is to create the screening interview questions for any specific role. So, for example, I can ask Gemini to provide me 5 questions for mid-level Python developer with say experience is NumPy. There's a library. Okay, so it is basically giving you the questions and what to look for in the answers. Okay, so you can actually, when you're screening a new candidate, and even if you don't know about the technology, you can generate the questions and answers. And if it's too much information, because you're not familiar, you can make it brief. Okay, so now it's giving you a question and possible answers, and you can actually ask the candidate over a screening interview and see how it replies, and does it match with any of the options here. Okay, and we can also make the questions based on the projects that the person is doing. For that, we need to provide the resume. So in this case, I'm picking up a file. So here is the resume of Abdullah. So it is opened here, right? The guy has a couple of years of experience, and if we look at the skill set, here is the list. So, for example, I can prompt for give me a list of 5 questions. Okay, so it's giving me general questions like what languages is proficient at, GPA and other things. We can limit it to ask the questions about the projects. Okay, it's not understanding the prompt, so let me retry. Okay, so here was his final year project was this one on power technology, and he's asking for what specific technology framework did you utilize? What were the key challenges that you faced? And can you elaborate on the ML aspect of FYP car Ecos project? So we can even ask them to provide HR some possible answers, even if you don't know about that. For example, for point number two, a person who is not familiar with the domain might not know what could be the possible answers. So we can ask what could be some good answers to point two. We can actually cross-reference the responses. Okay, so here it is giving you some hints that you should expect from the response from the candidate. So some of the challenges that he could have faced could be one of these. Okay, so we can also use the attached resume to do the skill gap analysis. Like we have a candidate who is interested, but we don't know if he has the required skills. So we can give it Gemini the attachment and ask that I am for a position that Python on Azure expertise, for example, and we can ask Gemini to and let me make it a little bit more generic. Require Python on Azure. Okay, okay, so based on this resume, the skill gap analysis is the strength are Python SQL Server HTML, but the guy does not have experience in Azure or advanced SQL Server features. And so we can do the skill gap analysis for each of the candidates that we have shortlisted. Okay. Um, any questions so far?
So is it possible to upload a folder of resume and screen it according to JD before making initial
Yeah,
screening calls?
yeah, there are paid tools for that. We can use Microsoft Copilot for that. It does that. But the other tools like Gemini does not have that feature, and ChatGPT probably would be able to connect to your Google Drive and can scan the data from there. Or even if you have this Gemini paid version, it is connected to your Google Drive. So you can go to your Google Drive and run the prompt right into the Google Drive, not through this interface.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Is this data will be available to everyone, which we are going to utilize over here? Like we are attaching files over here, as well as like some resumes also. So this Gemini is like associated with Google also, as you have mentioned earlier. Like it's getting the data from the Google. So my question is like, it's going to like make it available for any other user as well who is going to ask the same question on the Gemini?
Yeah, the Gemini stores our data in our context, so it won't be accessible to everyone, and the retention period is by default 30 days. So after 30 days, it basically clears out the data, but it stores under your user
Okay.
context and not your.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for this clarification. So, is there any way we can confine it also, like send, like telling him the prompt also, like you can confine our data to do not like make it available for other users, and you can refresh it after like 5 days or 7 days, based on like some settings over here in Gemini.
Well, our data is already confined to our user. It is not shared across the public domain or the other users of your organization. So it is already confined. And about the second part of your question about changing the retention period, I don't think there would be an option for that. That is a by default is
Mhm.
30 days for Gemini and I think 60 for ChatGPT. So they are just using it for their feedback cycle for their ML LLM model, and they in their terms
Mhm.
are saying that they're not using our data for training their model.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Usman.
All right. So there are many other use cases. Kamal, let me know when we are running out of time. Otherwise, I can continue.
Sure.
Okay. So another use cases could be that we can help, we can use AI assistance for onboarding the new candidates. So once the candidate is hired, we can generate the emails for him and can generate a roadmap of the onboarding process. For example, I can say that welcome email uh, for a newly joined developer. And if we have any template of our company policies or document, we can attach and use the tone of the document, or we can give a summary of the policies that the new joiner should know about. So for now, keeping it generic. Okay, so it's giving you a standard template that you can customize with secondary prompts. Okay, all right. Another interesting scenario is that we can create an onboarding survey with say 5 questions. Okay, so after 1 month of the joining, we can ask the candidate that how his experience is going and if there are any feedback. Okay, so it's asking about the overall experience, there's some specific items on the onboarding process. We can even give a document about our onboarding process, and it could generate the questions based on that.
Question. Um,
Yeah.
are there any public tools now for agentification of this? Like, I want to say, send an email out to all the employees and get some feedback, and based on the feedback, add it to an Excel sheet or something. So, are there any public tools now available for agents to automate use cases like this?
Well, there are some components of the tool available in the form of Typeform, Microsoft Forms that we can use to generate the service. But end-to-end solution is I haven't seen one yet, but there would be very soon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So um, another interesting use case is to have a difficult conversations with your employees. For example, mm, give me a list of questions to ask from an underperforming who who joined us um, around 6 months ago, and we have done a lot of. Okay. So it's basically giving you a list of questions that you can ask to the person one by one and get the feedback from them, and you can even have uh, more like the what should be the approach of the HR to approaching that person. So like we can ask that, give me some tips to make this servants conversation more friendlier, probably mm, to the developer. Okay, so it's giving you a lot of guidance at how you're actually going to talk to that person and get the feedback why he's underperforming. Okay, so and we can even use the Gemini or any AI assistants to close the feedback loop. We can tell that the person says that the project deadlines are unrealistic. How should HR handle this? Okay, so it's giving you all the breakdown, like you acknowledge his concern and then probably talk to the manager, investigate and analyze, and then take action by adjusting the deadlines or improving the planning process within the organization. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So if we will
Mhm.
are using like if you are going to use the paid version of any AI tool, so is it possible to generate any analytics report like based on what we have done on it related to screening or maybe hiring or kind of things? Any analytics report based?
Yeah, we can actually, the results of a prompt could be exported into the Excel format. And if you're looking for some advanced analytics, then Microsoft Copilot would be better option because it is integrated with Microsoft Excel, supports the Python libraries within Microsoft Excel, and can access all of your organization data. So there's the one-stop solution if you're looking for analytical reports. Otherwise, there are many products coming up on the HR domain which keeps all your data, all your responses, and generates analytics based on that. That's possible, but not within the Gemini or ChatGPT.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so another use case would be like we can give our goal and ask ChatGPT or Gemini that what should we do. Like we can say that we would like to improve um, a team bonding between on-site and remote resources. Give me a few tips. Okay, so we are giving our problem and asking for a solution here. Okay, and so it is giving you quite detailed steps that what we can do to increase and to improve the communication between the teams. And we can even ask to provide the specific tools for each point. Okay, so we pretty much already know that for communication we have Slack or Teams or Discord, a meeting recording, virtual coffee breaks. There are some new tools that we are not much familiar with. Virtual team building platform. And another interesting perspective is that we can even ask our AI assistant to give me some examples where we can use it for. For example, give me five. Uh, I'm an HR executive, for example, managing a team. Purpose. Give me five top prompts. Uh, okay, so it gives you some more ideas that you can use AI assistant for, right? What are the top three roadblocks hindering the productivity of my team right now? It's focusing actually more on the software development than on the HR side. So we can even ask it for how to create a roadmap, a training roadmap for your internal team resources. So you can say that I'm running an HR team. Give me out 1 month. Get trained on HR tools, policies, and procedures. So it's very generic prompt. We are not giving much detail. So it's giving a 1 month roadmap that if a new intern is joining your team, what should he do on each day of the month? So your HRI is your system that you're using for HR. It's training, compliance training, recruitment process training, application tracking system training, and know-how. Even conducting some mock interviews before the person is ready to conduct the actual interviews. Some overview of benefits and compensations. Okay, and if we have a senior resource, we can ask that person who joined us um, experience in HR gave me 1 week training plan. Okay, so it's basically eliminates the basic topics and rewrite the plan to cover in 1 week. Okay. Any questions?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, Usman, I think we are running out of time. So I would like to ask all to have a discussion, or if you guys have any questions, so kindly ask.
I'm good from my side. I have no questions to ask. Thank you so much for this productive meeting.
Kindly share your email addresses so we can invite you guys for in-person meeting as well. Any question? So thank you all of you for your valuable presence and active participation. So I believe that we will conduct such type of a webinar in future as well to have a strong networking. And if you guys need any kind of assistance and help, so please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.